What is up, my dudes? It's my maiden voyage here with streaming and bringing somebody else on the channel. All right, so normally I leave this up to Justin and Aaron, and they do all that stuff, but they're leaving me behind, so I gotta up my tech. Got me a cool background, got me some overlays, so I feel good about it. But this is new to me in a platform to stream like this. I wanted to bring Mike on today and talk about something that Aaron and Justin did a video last week, and I said, okay, I got to do one with Mike because I feel very passionate about what we're going to talk about today with what Quote IQ does because I've been doing it the hard way. That's how I've always done it, and I think a lot of guys out there just don't know how awesome Quote IQ is. I feel like now I'm biased, but I feel like we build the best equipment that you can get, and I feel like Quote IQ again a little biased is the best. It's we use a ton of CRM and back end stuff here at Southeast that cost me a lot of money, and I just know what the guys get out of what is it like it's like a monster a day, right? It's like a monster rehab a day of cost and what it does
Yeah.
to the business.
Well, man, we've got all different package levels. We've got free versions that anybody can use, right? And you can send your estimates, you can send your invoices, you can collect payments, keep track of your customers, which you and I both know are so important. And it's something that you and I both did not do. And I'll let you expound on your experiences early on in your business. But yeah, we've got the free version, and that is a great starting point. And then we've also got, a varying degree of other packages, starting from anywhere from like $1 a day up to a couple bucks a day. And, you can tailor it to your business. And we built it so you can build on, you can add add-ons depending on what you need. And, maybe we'll get into that today. But yeah, it's unbelievably cheap for the value that it adds to your business in, keeping track of everything, having everything in one spot that you can basically run your business from your phone.
I think that's why we jive so much is because we've both been in this industry a long freaking time, and we've both done it sort of the only way you could do it back in the day. I've really tried to expand the hardware. Yes, bro. Like I've tried to expand and make the hardware side of the industry better, and you guys tackled something that never crossed my mind to fix the back end, the software side of the business. And Dusty, I'll tell y'all back, let's see, about 2019, Dusty got us Jobber, and we were running out in the field. We were doing close to 300,000, 270, something like that. And we kind of used it, and we like never used it again. It was just like, okay, cancel that 3 months later because it was too much, and it wasn't really made for what we were doing, and it was kind of convoluted. There was another one that everybody used to schlep and promote back in the day. I can't remember the name of it. And they would say, this is a really good platform, but it's really hard to use. And it's like, it was just that for 5 years. Nobody ever tried to fix it. One of the things that Code IQ is, me, because I'm not a tech guy, like it took me an hour to put these overlays on the screen. An iPhone is just easy to use. Code IQ is so intuitive. And that's really nice for dudes like me.
Right. And that's one of the things that we tried to accomplish, and you'd said that there's definitely other programs out there, and there are programs that have been out there a lot longer. They have worked through a lot of the issues that you work through. One of the main reasons that we even attempted to create a brand new CRM, develop, a product that it's not an easy task. And it took about a year and a half, 2 years to get to where we are right now. But I would get asked all the time, Mike, what CRM do you use? What software are you using? And I didn't have an answer because I was using 3 or 4 different things to accomplish what I needed to accomplish. And it wasn't as efficient as I wanted it to be. It wasn't as efficient as I knew it could be, but nobody had taken the time, I guess, or cared enough to like consolidate it and put all the things that a home service business needed into one platform. Like I said, there are lots of things that I was using all together, cobbled together, that were somewhat working together, but there was multiple data point or data entry points. And that gets time consuming, especially when you're an owner operator, right? You don't have extra time to be putting stuff in QuickBooks, putting stuff in, whatever the CRM is that you're using, putting it in your scheduling software, putting it in, if you've got like a remote quoting software like we've developed with InstaQuote, right? You don't want to be putting everything everywhere. You want it all in one spot so you can work efficiently, quickly, get to your customers with speed. And that's ultimately why we built this. Is we wanted to give the home service industry something that was specifically built by people that know what they need. And that's exactly what we did. Just like what you guys are doing with the equipment, right? It's the exact same thing. Everybody in our industry, soft washing, pressure washing, we're using stuff that was made for other industries, and we have been making it work for us for however many years, right? Like nobody makes a pump specific for roof washing, right? There are pumps that have been adapted with certain seals and whatnot, but it wasn't specifically designed for what we need. And that's where you guys come into play. And that's what we've tried to do with Quote IQ as well.
Yeah, it's so amazing to see all this stuff. Like we're watching the industry get real. Like it's not longer play pretend hobby land. And I'm telling you guys, I did everything on a freaking yellow legal pad because I knew there was stuff out there, but it was so much work. I was like, I just write that shit down. So, and I knew I was shooting myself in the foot. Long term, you want your data collected. Let's talk about some of the key data points. I've got my guys up front making me a KPI, key performance indicator. I like a big whiteboard. I want to look at it so I can know who to slap on the hand. So your department's not doing good enough.
Right.
So those KPIs in your wash business, I think a lot of guys, they could make better decisions if they knew these key things. So one of those I know that Quote IQ gives you is like amazing to know is close ratio.
Right.
Tell me why do you need to know that?
Well, if you will pop up the dashboard, this is our dashboard analytics within Quote IQ. So every paying subscriber, you don't get this with the free version, but every paying subscriber, every tier, you get basically your business at a glance, the analytics dashboard. And this has got essentially everything that you could possibly need to know about your business right at your fingertips, right? Right up at the top, and let me scroll up a little bit if you bear with me. Dang it.
You want the full screen?
No, this is fine. Just I'm a gentleman of age. And
yeah, I'm catching up.
Damn, did I kill that? Is it still up on the screen?
Well, guys, I'm telling you, this is my first time, and I'm not sure. I can't see it on my screen, but Mike's trying to. Okay, it went away.
Damn it. Okay, bear with me.
I am sure it is. So I screen grabbed this earlier to show you guys, but the dashboard has got a lot of. It's got a lot of info just in itself. You can see your P&L, year to date, sales by service. I think that's huge to know, like what's moving the needle here for the company.
Right.
I've worked in corporate before, and I loved my old general manager at Walmart. Hundreds of millions of dollars a week product, big building, and he was smart because he said, "Look, man, let's only talk about what moves the needle," and that's having those pieces of those graphs. It's just visually like, oh, that sucks. I need to move the needle here. You want to launch it back up? Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. So, we've got a bunch of the key performance indicators up here. Obviously, you've got your year-to-date sales. You've got all of the analytics that that are important to your business. We've got the profit and loss statement, your net income, which is your gross sales and your expenses. And of course, sales by service is something that is very important. You need to know what your most profitable services are and what you're doing the most of, because say roof washing is one of your most, the most high profit services that you're adding, that you're providing to your customers, yet it's only 11% of your business. So what does that tell you? That tells you that you probably need to push roof cleaning because you're going to make a hell of a lot more money cleaning roofs than anything else. We've also got lead sources down there. Now, lead sources are important because then you can make determinations on where you want to spend your money as far as ads, or where you want to spend your time on focusing on your ads. Is it Google? Is it, postcards? Is it flyers? Do you have QR codes out there? All of these things are going to help determine and help you make decisions on where best your money will be spent to get the most return. And so that's why we have included both the lead source and the sales by service. Now, we've also got a average ticket price down there, and that's just a great thing to know. Again, it kind of goes back to your profitability and your margin. And if your average ticket is, say, like this is a test account, $285. That's not terrible, but at least you've got a gauge now on where you want to be and what you want to target. So say it's $400, then that means you're going to have to either increase your prices or you're going to have to start upselling other services onto what you're currently offering. We also have a close ratio indicator that is on a different screen that I can go to in a second, and that's going to show you how good you are at sales or how bad you are at pricing your services. And I say that simply because if your close ratio is like 90%, in your head, you may be thinking to yourself, man, I am the best salesman out there. But in my head, it's telling me that your prices are way too low because everybody wants to book you. And so there's an equilibrium there, right? And we need to find that not break even, but we need to find that point where, your pricing and the jobs that you're closing are kind of in line, because if one is offset, that means you're doing something wrong in your business. If your close ratio is like 20%, that means maybe your prices are too high or you really do suck at selling. Right. And either way, you can, kind of figure out what you need to do in your own business to make those numbers where they need to be.
Yeah. You kind of know in yourself, like I know I'm a pretty good salesman, but if I'm closing that high, I've got to start working on those things. And these are the things that if you're doing it on paper, you're not going to know. Like you're just sort of winging it every day. You're making I think this might, tell me if you agree with this. It is a double-edged sword of our industry, because it's not, the good side of the sword is it's super profitable. The bad side is it's so profitable, it'll cover up the boo-boo.
Right.
You won't even realize, like, yes, you were making money, but you won't realize how much you left on the table. And that's what, I try not to even think about that, because I'm like, that sucks. I left billions because I didn't want to delve into anything. I didn't have a tool like this to even use. And so I just made money every day, but I didn't make what I could have made.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things you and I have talked about this at length. When we were starting out, like we said, we did it on paper, and then, that paper, it got folded up, it got crumpled up, it got wet, coffee got on it. I don't, and I did do the math one time, and just generalizations based on the current numbers that I know. It was probably close to $600,000 to $800,000 that I lost by not following up, right? Just not following up. And that's not even like the lifetime value of customers, right?
Right.
The lifetime value, like I've been in business for over 21 years. If I had all of the contact information, the email addresses, the phone numbers, the property addresses, I could mail these people something. I didn't have anything. It was on paper and it got tossed. And not only is that bad from just, common business sense, which I didn't have a tremendous amount of back then, but I also didn't have the software and the things that, like, now everything is in the phone. Every customer I have, all their contact information is in here, which serves multiple purposes. I can market to them. I can stay in front of them. And we do this through our email and our text automation, through our mass emails in Quote IQ. But should I sell my business at some point, right? If you're all on paper, guess what's going to happen? Nobody is going to want to buy your business. Nobody. But if you've got all the information, all the data, and it's all in one place, it's organized, guess what? Then you can say, hey, I did, $450,000 last year. I've got all of the customers, all of the jobs, all of the pricing, everything that you need is right here. And that makes it a lot easier to sell. You're supposed to, people start businesses and they run businesses. I build businesses to sell, right? Because ultimately that's the end game.
Right.
I don't know if there's anybody, and there are a few, I'm sure, that are like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. I want to be on the truck washing for the rest of my life. That is not me. I don't want to be, involved with the same business for the lifetime of, that business. I want to build it. I want to sell it. I want to pass it along to a kid or to an employee who I trust is going to be a good steward of the business. And of course, that all comes with a price tag. But if you don't have the data, if you just are, kind of winging it and playing it by whatever the saying is, then your business is ultimately, your business sucks. Yeah. Is the bottom line.
You're kind of not in the driver's seat. It's just dragging you along for the ride. And I think about how many years we were part-time, and we made, 50, 60 grand part-time, and where I live, like more than I made at the job, but how much quicker could I went full-time and made 225,000 a year. But no, because I was so I give myself a little bit of an out because Code IQ didn't exist. Things like this were just becoming a thing.
Right.
The ones I tried were like suck. So it was like it turned me off of the whole thing. But it
Dude,
is so cheap. It
I,
is
I,
it don't make no sense how cheap it is for what it does for your business.
100%. And I get, obviously just within our Quote IQ business model, we've also implemented email and text automation to have those touch points with potential customers, potential users, potential people that could benefit from this type of software for their business. And I get feedback, on occasion that I'm just starting out and I don't have enough money. And I'm thinking to myself, just like you and I, like, it's free. Like at least do that. Like you're going to look professional. You're going to give, nice looking estimates, nice looking invoices. You're going to give your customers the opportunity to pay you online, which is going to make your life and their life a lot easier. And it's free. But say you just get in at the base level, right? Even with that, you're looking at, like we said, a couple bucks a day. Do you not have $1 or $2 a day to invest in your business, to the long-term health of your business, the predictability, the sustainability? These are all things that come with, keeping track of all of the data points that you need to keep track of. And like you said, if you don't, then you're just flying blind. And when you fly blind, you don't know if you're making money. I see guys all the time and they're like, well, how much do you charge for this? And I was like, it's kind of a disservice to tell you what you should charge because I don't know your business, right? What I charge covers my costs, but what I charge, might not, it may be way more than you need to charge, or your market's completely different than mine. So again, data drives decisions, and those decisions are best made when you're informed. And that's what we try to do here.
I tell guys that come to the class, I have classes here all the time, like, dude, you're lying to yourself, and don't lie to me and tell me you can't afford Quote IQ or something like that. One of these could be an answering service, just something completely different. Don't tell me you can't afford. You're lying. Okay. What you mean is I don't want to prioritize a few dollars for this thing. I'm just telling you it's dumb. Don't do that. I don't have any affiliation with any answering service, but I'm telling you should have some way to answer the phone. Like obviously we network with Code IQ, but I'm telling you guys, like you got to have something. One of the things that everybody wants is a square foot price. I have a square foot price. Mike has a square foot price, but we've massaged that number over time to get to a number. What they want is for me to tell them a number, and I can't tell you that because I'd be doing you a disservice. But what you can do is go use Quote IQ, import your data, let it run a little while, and then you've got a sample size you can extrapolate back and get a really accurate, like it. This is your number. It's no different than if I go to the range and zero my rifle. I'm not going to shoot one round down range and start adjusting the optic. I'm going to shoot, if I'm like dead bore sighting, I'll shoot 10 rounds before I make an adjustment. And then we'll shoot 5-round groups. That's what Code IQ allows you to do is to shoot the shot group, capture. Imagine shooting a shot group and not looking at the target. Like, no, Code IQ is looking at where the bullets landed and where do you need to adjust and dial in. You're always getting closer to the bullseye of where you want to land. And it's just like it's such a powerful tool. And like you said, it's all, as much as I hate this thing is a game changer for your business if you use it correctly. Not getting on Facebook and talking to old fat Nick Toads about why the $99 guy. Okay, well just go kill the $99 guy and use your software to do that. So you mentioned email automation. That's a big deal. I never done a lot of that. I met you're big on that stuff. We use it now for Southeast, dude. We'll throw an email out and make enough to go buy a new truck with an email sequence. So you guys need to be doing the same thing, and that's huge.
Right. And that's one of the and I'm going to share my screen again with you guys. Let me share. Okay. If you can throw that up, Cody. All right. So we have got email automation set up. And one of the main reasons why I think that this is so important is because we've got multiple touch points throughout the entire sales process, right? When an estimate is created, emails and text messages are already in place. We don't have to think about it once. All of these emails that you're looking at right now, these are all triggered by specific actions within Quote IQ. So all of these have a very specific purpose. Like the first one is like, hey, I saw you got an estimate. Are you ready to schedule? The next one is like, hey, it's been a day since I know you're maybe making a decision, blah, blah, blah. In a couple days, I send some pictures and I'm like, hey, does your property look like this? Well, we can make it look like this, right? It's all marketing. It's trying to get these people to pull the trigger and get on the schedule. Once they get on the schedule or they opt out and just decline the estimate, they then go over to an estimate scheduled portion of the email automation. And again, they get an appointment reminder immediately, and then they get a text an hour before, a series of things that happen. We explain what our expectations of them are. This is where they get a customer contract, right? And all of that happens. Now, once the work is complete and it's invoiced, they go over to the invoices paid. Now, this is the nurturing part of email automation. And this is what I think is the most profitable and is my favorite because it makes me money. A, we ask for a review. B, we follow up in a couple months. We offer a little discount. Then we just have multiple touch points throughout the process. And the final is about a year later, we just say, hey, wanted to see if you were ready to get on the schedule again. It's been about a year since we were out there. And that email, it crushes. It absolutely kills. And the beautiful thing about all of this is we put it into place once. We set it in motion and we never think about it again, right? It's just there. And that's one of the beautiful things. Like I said earlier, as an owner operator, you're wearing so many hats. You're doing the marketing, you're doing the sales, you're doing the invoicing, you're doing the estimates, you're doing all these things and the work. And you're trying to do it all. And there's not enough hours in the day. And that's what we've tried to do. We've tried to give you hours back to where you can focus on the things that really matter, the things that are going to move the needle. And so the email automation, the notifications, the InstaQuote that we built. InstaQuote is an absolute game changer, right? What InstaQuote is, it's in the ultimate package. Now, this package alone, if you were comparing it to other software packages out there, right, they're charging you, I don't know, $200, $300 a month. And then if you just sign up, they want to charge you $600, $650 just to help you set it up, right? With InstaQuote, you can get it in the ultimate package and you're going to pay just a sliver of that. And the beautiful thing is when you get the ultimate package, if you choose to go with a year, you get an onboarding call with myself and Justin, where we walk you through every single step of the process. We help you set up everything. We've got templates that you can download that have got everything that you need immediately, right? So you can hit the ground running. But what InstaQuote does is it allows customers to go to your website, or if you can attach it to a QR code, you can send it in a link in an email, text it to them. It pops up your InstaQuote home screen. And essentially what it does is it allows customers to self-quote themselves, right? They can come to your website. They're coming with you with intent, right? The intent to buy. And that's the one thing that we talk about is speed to the lead. The quicker that you can get a customer a quote, the quicker they're going to schedule. They're not coming to you because, most customers, the good customers, they are coming to you with purpose, with intent, right? The first guy to get back to them is the one that's going to get the job 90% of the time. And so with InstaQuote, with our remote quoting, where we're able to, pull up the map, measure out real quick, send them a quote within a matter of minutes while you're on a roof, while you're in the backyard cleaning a patio, whatever, when you're driving. I don't recommend it, but you can be driving and sending instant quotes, and you're getting back to these customers. You're providing an estimate, a very accurate estimate, before they even have the opportunity to call your competition. And guess who gets the work? You do. So InstaQuote is web-based. It's basically all of your information that you've input, all of your services, all of your pricing, and a customer can go in, they enter their information, they can ask pre-qualifying questions. Do you have a stained front door? Do you have this? Do you have that? Do you have a patio? Do you have gutters? Whatever the case is, all of these things are in our matrix, in our pricing matrix on the back end, allow you to fine tune your pricing, generate a quote instantly, and then should you choose, they can self-schedule as well based on your calendar availability. And then, of course, you get notifications. You got an InstaQuote, you got a self-schedule. You can go in, you can click it, approve it, and boom, it's on the schedule. Then the email automation starts with all of those email sequences saying, hey, here's the date and time of your email, or here's the date and the time of your property, your cleaning. And then the whole sequence goes on from there. So complete automation. And again, all built for you to gain back that time. Imagine going to every single person if you've got adequate lead flow and trying to give estimates. You can't do it. You
No.
can't do that and get the jobs done, right? So we're going to make it a hell of a lot easier for you by allowing you to basically run everything from your phone, from your laptop. We've got, the desktop version at myquoteiq.com. We've also got, and I should have mentioned this earlier, every tier in Quote IQ is $1 for the first month. So if you just want to try it out, if you want to try out InstaQuote, customer self-schedule, sign up. It's $1. Boom.
I mean, you can't beat that.
No.
That's
And we've teamed up with Cody, and we're giving away a little nice. What is it? It's the
Easy Mac.
Easy. Yeah. And Justin is handling all that, so I don't know all the details.
I don't know the details either. I just told him, dude, let's give one away.
Right. And so some lucky subscriber of Quote IQ is going to be able to walk away with one of Cody's Softwash systems. And again, this is another thing. It's kind of funny. Quote IQ is super cheap. It can make you a shit ton of money. The stuff that you sell, some of it is unbelievably expensive. But what have you just recently brought out?
The new pump. Yeah.
What the new pump, but that's not what I'm talking about. It's the little one,
the Super 8.
No, dude, you guys are coming up with too much stuff.
Too much
the thing we're giving away? The small.
The Easy Max. Yeah. So it's a hose reel, manifold on a box, ready to go. Yeah.
Right. It's essentially, and I say this in the kindest way. It's the bare bones.
Yeah.
Model of, but the beautiful thing is, and I've had bare bones, right? I've had the shit that I've made, and trust me, the difference. And it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day, man. So we've got a Southeast Softwash trailer, and I was thinking, wow, I haven't had to do any significant maintenance, plumbing, wiring, or anything to this thing since we've had it, and we've had it for years, right? When I built my own stuff, I was constantly tinkering. I was constantly, tweaking and modifying and fixing. It's the difference between doing it on paper, right, and using Quote IQ, right? You can get it done this way, the hard way, or you can spend a couple bucks and do it the right way. And I think that's what all of us, and it's kind of crazy to see the trajectory of our group, right? Of what we've done. Justin and I have gone in one direction with the software. You and Aaron have gone a different direction in developing like state-of-the-art, badass equipment for the industry. And it's. I mean, I'm kind of proud of us,
dude. It's been crazy. Like we didn't even plan that. It just happened that way. I didn't even know. Like we don't talk all the time about every little thing we're doing, but those two things coming together: the front end of the business, back end of the business. The front end is the thing, right? The watching the thing. That's great. And that's where everybody's mind goes. But like I would not run a truck without Quote IQ because I know I've had guys say this about InstaQuote. Yeah, but what if it quotes too low on the job, and I lose money? But the problem is you're thinking right in front of your face. You may be off a little bit, but you've got to think about that. Well, all you got to do is go in and tweak your math in the app, dude. But yes. If I shoot and I'm off, did I waste a bullet? No, I learned and I tweak because you're off anyway. You just don't know it. Quote IQ is going to allow you to start dialing that note chart in so that you can be accurate. I think a lot of dudes think too short term. They're only thinking about Friday, and they're thinking about Friday, and they're thinking about next Friday. And if you're going to be a business owner and be successful, you got to start thinking a little bit more long term. And these tools are investments in allowing you to get the data. Me and Mike, that's a saying we both say, data drive decisions. If you don't have the data, you're just making willing decisions and seeing what sticks to the wall. And it's not a good way. It ain't fun. It's easier today, right? It's harder to do, but it's a much better version of life if you'll do the little hard things like setting up Quote IQ. What's it going to take? 30 minutes, right? Some people our society now is so like they won't even take the time to go to the app store. Like it's not going to, you don't need to run like that, dudes. Don't only think about digging the ditch. You got to think about the back of your business too. And I think it's probably the best piece of software. If you're only going to get one piece of friggin' software, you need this and you need a good accountant and you'll be all right.
That's it. Yeah, and we've done everything we can to make it user friendly. And the beautiful thing about Quote IQ versus, because I've dabbled with other software products, and if I run into an issue, you've got you go through the normal chain of command. But I promise you, there's not a single other software company out there that, at least that I'm aware of in our space, where you can probably get a call from me or Justin, the founders, right? And we're going to listen to what you're going to have to say, and if it's good, and if it's applicable to more than just a few people, we're going to make changes. We're going to implement. Hell, we make changes every single day to the app based on our users, right? We're on phone calls daily, right? And there's probably guys out here now that have been sitting in the truck or at the office, and the phone rings and it's me, and I'm like, hey man, I saw your support ticket, and I'm just wondering, what exactly do you mean by this? Because it makes a lot of sense, but I want to know, how it's going to help. And we are the most reactive group in the world, and sometimes people might not like my responses when I sometimes I get an email that I respond how I probably shouldn't, but I am the director of HR for Quote IQ, so I'm allowed to do whatever I said because I can't fire myself. So yeah, it is a unbelievably satisfying and fulfilling thing that we've done here, and I know you guys feel the same, right? Because we've built something that is actually helping people, right?
Right.
It's just like How to Wash or Local Dom 2, right? We're taking the information, the knowledge, the experience that we have, and we're giving it away, for next to nothing, with what you can pull away from it, right? Everything, the equipment that you sell, yeah, there's an investment, but what's the ROI, right?
Yeah.
How many wash jobs, how many roof jobs does it take to pay off one of your skids? Not that many. How many house washes does it take to pay off a year of Quote IQ? Oh, maybe 2 or 3. So put that into perspective.
About 3. I don't know, like a good job, like a driveway and 2 walls.
Yeah, right. It's that inexpensive, but it's that important, right? So I don't know. It's awesome, and I'm appreciative of all of our users, all of our subscribers, and the people that are supporting us and giving us that feedback, because we can't get better without you guys. So it's a great community.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you coming on. Hey, we got through the jungle of my first. It's crazy. I've been doing this so long. I've never done a simulcast, but thank you for coming on, guys. Go check out Quote IQ in the App Store. Look, I didn't put the Google Play Store because I don't. People really use that,
dude. Not as many. There are a ton of Google users, but if you want to get the $1 deal, you got to get it at myquoteiq.com, and that's your first month for free. And remember, any subscriber is going to win the mini max.
Well, that's awesome, dude. There you go. Google Play Store as well. Go check it out, guys. We will see you in the next vid. Peace out.